Hi everyone, welcome to my sixth video. And I am Ming, and I'm trying to record my video every day in English speaking practice. Yeah, so it's my sixth day in a row, and I'm trying not to stop recording myself until I reach my speaking skills as same as the native speakers. So please stay tuned and watch me grow. Wish me good luck for that. So, how was your day today? I personally had very good rest today because I'm uh, still on my spring break in my school. And actually, I have very special event today. So that is that. I have one Iran friend, and I got to know her whenever I had a international students orientation in the school. And we sat in the same table, and actually she sat like two seats away from me. But anyway, we were the person we were like sitting until the end of the event, and there were not that much of people who sat until until the end of the event. And at, right after the orientation finished, we exchanged our contact, and I got to know her there. And after that, we had several times of having lunch together, and she, I found her really comfortable and very kind and nice. And I think she thinks same to me, hopefully. And actually, I'm very open to have these kind of international students, international friends, and I have several of them. But for me, having a friend from Iran was the first time for me, so it was quite interesting to, at the same time, very precious to me for me to have Iranian friends. So I got to know her, and even though we are pursuing a different program, and we are in different major. So she's one of the student in PhD, and she's studying computer science, and I know nothing about computer science. But anyway, we got to know each other, and we usually share our concerns together, which are very similar to each other, and which sometimes are very silly to share, but we are very much uh, open to each other, so we don't really blame for whatever we share, or you I hope you have also those kind of friend that you can be silly and dumb in front of him or her, so that you just open yourself as you are. And it's better for me to do that in front of her. So I don't know why, but I feel really comfortable and, yeah, very much free to share myself to her. And of course, she also does the same to me. So I got to know her very well. And actually, the main event I want to share today was that uh, it is Iran, a Persian New Year's tomorrow. I think it's already today. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, no, no. 21st of the March, right? So I got to know that Iran is celebrating their own calendar, and it was quite interesting that because I only knew that Ethiopian has their own calendar and they have their New Year in September. And I had some chance to join those kind of celebration. And I only knew that the Ethiopia has their own calendar and have their own New Year, but I didn't know about a Persian's New Year, and I got to know this that they call this Nowruz, right? Nowruz, and it's been very hundreds of years they celebrate this New Year for their own calendar, and it was very interesting. And in our university, there had a very big event, like I mean celebration event party. It's called party here. Party for this Persian New Year last week, and everyone, I was invited with this Iran friend, and we went there, but I didn't really expect that much big scale. So I thought it was just a casual event in the university. So I was wearing just my casual look, jeans and just blouse and like kind of a bit just semi-formal looks. And I'm not sure I can say jeans are semi-formal, but I didn't have anything very formal ones. But I went there and I saw that everyone is wearing their dress, very fancy dress, like you know, and every man wearing their suits, kind of things. And oh, I'm only the one who is wearing jeans. But anyway, I really enjoyed it, and actually, I had my friend next to me, so I was not that much embarrassed, and I hope everyone understand me because I'm a foreigner there. Everyone was foreigner, but I am foreigner outside of the Persian people. So I just really enjoyed the party itself, and actually, the New Year comes next tomorrow, so. This my friend invited me day before the New Year, and we celebrated together with many delicious food. And I brought so many desserts, and yeah, I ate a lot, and we had a very nice conversation, friendly conversation. And I just got home from her house a few minutes ago. Anyway, I had a very good New Year event during March, and actually, it was very new to me that how Iran people celebrate this New Year, and she tried her best to prepare according to her tradition. So, as I remember correctly, people have to prepare 7 foods. I think it's food, right? Anyway, 7 things that starts with S. So she prepared this table, all those 7 S things uh, put together in that table, and this includes like vinegar. Let me cheat on this Google. As I know, it was some vinegar vinegars and apple and what was it? A coin and some more things. Maybe I better study more about that, but anyway, she prepared all of them. She did her best. Yeah, and it looks very nice and yeah, we had very good New Year event together. Oh yeah, here it is. Wheatgrass wheatgrass grown in a dish, and sweet pudding made from wheat germ, and sweet dry fruit of the lotus tree, Persian vinegar, apple, garlic, and sumac. What is sumac? But anyway, yeah, she prepared almost all of them. and she tried to put a mirror in the middle of the table, but unfortunately, it didn't arrive on the right time, and the delivery was delayed, so she couldn't prepare the perfect table. But it seemed perfect for me. So anyway, we had very pleasant time together, and yeah, it was all about my today's schedule. So I hope you already had a good. Uh, I hope you spent a good time also for today. And although I have some remaining time, but I'd like to talk about today's topic as about New Year because it's New Year for Persian. So and actually, not only Iran is celebrating this Nowruz New Year, it's Nowruz. uh, Please correct me if I'm wrong. Nowruz New Year, but there are so many Iran Persian countries which are celebrating this New Year. So I think I didn't really recognize about this, but I think this is quite a big event, and she also told me that this New Year's event is the biggest event in her country. So I really wanted to celebrate with her together, and I was also very pleasant to glad to spend my first Persian New Year with her. And I heard that also in Persian New Year, they have 13 days of like holidays. So it's really amazing, isn't it? 13 days holidays. We only have 7 days for spring break, and in my country, our New Year's only have 3 days for holidays. Like everyone officially rest for 3 days. So when compared to 13 days, wow, it's really, really big even, right? So as a new year, I'd like to talk about some following questions with I will ask ChatGPT about some. Is there some discussion points that uh, regarding New Year? Mm, okay. So maybe it can go a bit easy today. Cultural and global perspective of New Year. How do different cultures celebrate the New Year? Are there any unique traditions you follow? Mm, What are some interesting New Year's traditions around the world that you've learned about? How does your country or community celebrate the New Year? Okay. Okay, I can talk about this cultural and global perspective on New Year questions. And in my country, I'm from Korea, so I mean the South Korea, and our country has actually two New Years. So International New Year, as everyone knows, the first day of the January, right? So that day is like red color date in the calendar, so we all don't work on that day. And it's just one day, right? And actually, we have the other New Year's Day, which I just told previously, 3 days of the holidays. So this New Year is actually is following new lunar calendar. Lunar calendar. So what is different is that the lunar calendar is almost, I think, more or less than 1 month difference from the traditional, I mean, the international calendar. So in lunar calendar, it's every year it has different date when is the uh New Year's, but it usually falls on late late of February, I think. Yeah. Ah, no, no, no. Late of January, like last week of the January or first week of the February. Around this ar- around this period, there is New Year's holidays according to lunar calendar. So this is one of the biggest holidays in Korea, and traditionally, we used to gather together with all family members, or we visit the other relatives, or on any other like very how can I say this? Anyway, we usually spend this time together with family. These days, uh, I think not every family follow these rules, but some family they gather together, and sometimes we prepare for traditional how can I say this? Really hard. It's hard to explain these traditional things in English. Okay, anyway, I will skip this one. But these days, since it's like 3 days of off for ordinary weekdays, so uh, some families go abroad and spend family time together in foreign countries, like traveling or having a good time with friends or families. And in some other families, they still gather together, and usually I really want to look up in the dictionary, but I will not. I will try my best to explain in English. It's kind of ritual things. So, people prepare some food, and there are some traditional rules to prepare these, what kind of food should be prepared, or how they should be put in which order are all regulated. But is changing these days according to like modern people's just their habits or their preferences. But anyway, traditionally they had this kind of regulations or rules how we should prepare this ritual packages. Then we anyway, when people prepare these table of meals, and they prepare for their ancestors, and they try to like uh prepare this supper for the ancestors, then believed that they come and eat and eat those meals, and then they bless the our generations, kind of this. But as you know, whenever I think it depends on the family's religion and their own habit, uh, own preferences. The tradition is changing a lot, and some families are still keeping these kind of ritual things, but I think many modern families changing their rules, and they just eat out all together instead of preparing all those food in at their home. And especially like Christian families, they don't really believe that the ancestor spiritual they come and eat the food kind of thing. So they don't really go on those ritual things, but they just have their own home worship service kind of things, and then they just worship. They do a service for like remembering the ancestor instead of having preparing foods or kind of things. So I think every family has different ways of how they deal with these ritual things, but Yeah, I think the tradition has been changed a lot, and even the food they prepare, they don't really follow a lot of the traditional ones, but instead they order pizza for ancestors or anything that their older generation preferred when they were alive. When there are some specific food they liked, they try to prepare them instead of the traditional ones. So I think it's really vary depending on the families, their own traditions and their own style. So yeah, I tried my best to explain about our cultural things and different culture I saw, and also I had a chance to participate in New Year's event. Was Ethiopian New Year's event, and I got to know about their own celebration style, and it was also quite interesting. So anyway, there's New Year falls on September, in the middle of September, I guess. And they usually what they do for New Year's is that they have to prepare a goat. I mean the animal goat, and they need to find a very nice goat, and they bring it to home, and then they slaughter. They try to make them into the meat. You know what I mean, right? And anyway, they cut those meat and prepare the meat for their traditional food. So that I think, as if I remember well, they called it cutful, and they eat this raw goat's meat, and also they make the meat into the other cook by the other dishes, and they share together with family. So that was one of the most important part of New Year's, I know. So whenever the New Year comes, you can see many goats walking around the roads, and people, some people like leading the goats, like 20 to 30 goats all together in the middle of the road and going to their own way. Yeah, so it's very, very interesting and very different culture uh to see. And yeah, I think they in Ethiopia they also celebrate this New Year around 1 week, and people really don't want to work around New Year. I think it applies to everyone, but I it was almost 1 week of celebration, like before of the New Year and right after New Year, like 3 days each. So in these days, even government officials don't really come out for works, and it's really hard for people to look whether they are on their uh whether they are present in the office or not. So yeah, I think it's a really cultural thing to celebrate this long celebration. But compared to Iran, like 13 days, 1 week is really a joke. Even like 3 days is just a joke, right? We need to expand our holidays. I don't think 3 days are enough. Yeah, I think Koreans are too much into the work, and their working hours too long. Anyway, so these were the different cultures I celebrated before, and yeah, I think it's all about today's. I think it's all about today's topic, and I'm not sure about the other culture, but yeah, I remember the other one in Korea. Maybe, yeah, I think it's traditional and also very annually um executed habitual things, but whenever the New Year comes, right before the 1st of January, like I mean in the end of the last day of the year, December 31st, everyone gathers in the specific area. We call this 보신각, right? Now I forget everything from Korea. Oh my gosh. Actually, I haven't been here before, so that's why I'm not really familiar with the name. But anyway, there is a bell. Oh my god, but there's a very big bell, and um, there we used to ring this bell right after midnight of the New Year passes. So we count down from 10 seconds before the midnight comes. So, I mean, 11:98, 99, so 90, 11:59 p.m., people are already crowded around this bell, and or some area around that bell, so that they want to feel those kind of chill that we are really facing the new year. The first day of the January comes. So people gather there to see the person ringing the bell. And yeah, it's really, we don't really ring one time, but I really forget how many times we ring this one. Oh my goodness. But anyway, it was quite a couple of times, and it's very shame that I don't really know well about my culture. Wow. Anyway, we ring this bell, and people try to reach that place to see that ringing bells, and everyone counting down like 10 seconds before the new year comes. So, it's very festival vibe. So I think that's why people try to get there and enjoy that mood atmosphere together. And it's not even in that area. People try to gather somewhere around some popular sites and then count down from 10, 9, 8, and blah blah together, so that you can celebrate the first day of the new year together. So I think it sounds a bit common, isn't it? It sounds a bit ordinary for every cities, but I guess ringing the bell, and this bell is kind of a very cultural heritage from many years ago. So many years from the past. So I think that's why it's so meaningful to for us to gather there and ringing the bell together and all enjoying those New Year vibes together. So that was one of the tradition we have in Korea. And yeah, for the other traditional things, I think it very depends on the family's own culture. And yeah, for my family, we don't really hang out outside, but that's why we just stay in home and we just watch the television shows. And there are, like annual celebration awards giving programs from each broadcast company. So we usually would watch them and count down together at home and in front of television like this in a very comfortable mood. And we don't really go outside because we know out there are so crowded and so much people hanging around, and it's cold. So we just stay at home together in front of television, sitting down and laying down in sofa, relaxing, and that's my. I think that's just enough for my perspective. So it's my very personal New Year's habit in my family, and I'm really wondering how the other cultures celebrate about their own New Year. So I hope I can hear from some of you, or any chance I get from the others in my international friends. And I think it will be my end of my um dialogue today, monologue today. So Happy New Year for my Iran friend and my Persian friends, and hope you have a good day. And we will see you tomorrow. I will come again for my seventh video. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Have a good night. Have a good day.